Philly fan. Philly fan.
Alright, so Buck, what's going on, girl, bro? How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm blessed. Another day is another opportunity, man.
Right. I mean, and like we was talking, we had a nice little combo off camera and all that. And like I was telling you, I mean, when I first met you or whatever, like I came across your page randomly on the gram. I seen you had a lot going on as far as being a young entrepreneur in the city. I mean, got some businesses. We in one of your businesses that's about to open up real soon. I mean, so I wanted to give people some of your story because you had a nice little, struggle and some obstacles you had to overcome to get to where you got to. So I thought my audience can definitely relate to your story. So for the people that don't know you, let's start from the very beginning. I mean, like, originally from South Philly.
Yeah, 21st and Christian.
Right. So tell the people, briefly about, what it was like for you coming up in the P in that area, your family life, the environment, getting that whole rundown.
Alright, so basically, I mean, I'm from 21st and Christian. The whole 21st, 22nd, over the 20th and Cartman. I mean, in my days, now, coming up, they call it across the tracks or whatever the case may have you. Pretty much, man. Growing up there, like I could say it was, pretty rugged, but starting off, coming up as a youngin', like I was like between homes, with my mom and my grandmom this week, with my dad the next week. As I got older is when I started to, transition into like the environment, basically. I wasn't, always a bad kid. I was good in school. Things like that, I start seeing a crowd, start meeting new people in school, start doing different things. When I'm gonna say 15, about to be 16, maybe is when I really was like start really moving in the streets. Little situation erupted, I wound up running away from home, got myself in some trouble, wound up getting locked up, juvenile placement, then I wound up coming home, getting locked back up, got sent to a maximum security called Swiss 2 for juveniles. I was there up until, I want to say, like, about to be 18, come home, get locked right back up, get sent to Upstate Road with CFCF. Did like, I want to say, probably did like 6 months in CFCF. Custody wound up getting dropped. I went to the Creek, was in the House of Corrections for like 18 months. Came out, basic street stuff, doing whatever I gotta do to make a living. Then now you come to when it start getting real, different blocks worn, different things happening, people start to get jealous because making a couple dollars, or this one Reynolds was popping when niggas was moving in the Reynolds real heavy, every week a different rental. I mean, people see that, so it brings a lot. Like, and I always tell people, I believe it. When Biggie said the more money, the more problems, that he meant that. But it's all different reasons why he said that. You got the hate, you got the envy, but on top of that, you got more bills. Like, you got more people asking for stuff. So it's more than just good problems. It's a lot of bad problems. Bring the ladies. It allow you to get what you want, but then you still accumulating more bills because now you're getting things that has notes on it or whatever. You moving in houses where now the mortgage or the rent is this much, so it's a lot to it. But back to what I was saying, once it's I got a little older, start getting a little bit more heavy in the streets. You got the different street beefs and things like that. So in the course of all that, I lost homies. A lot of my homies got a lot of time, and then a few of them that was around turned out to be rats. You know what I mean? And it's simple as that. We don't, condone that. So you already lose those homies for being labeled as a rat. You know what I mean? Seeing paperwork and all that. So they done. Then you got the people that's in the system. They not done, but it's like it ain't too much. You know what I mean? That y'all can do together besides phone calls, letters, and JPs, all that. And then you got the people that's in the grade. Most you could do is, go to the tombstone and see them. So once they had, and I told myself like, man, it's time for a change, man. It's time for a change. Like it wasn't. I done been shot. I done been in a crazy accident. So I was in that hospital, a few different times for a few different serious situations. So I just told myself, man, it's like time. Like I get this up, man. So I was the chick I was dealing with at the time. She had some connects with some people. So even with my background, she was able to get me into Jefferson Hospital. I was there. I was at Jefferson Hospital, but I still was in the streets a little bit. So I was one foot in, one foot out, still juggling the both. So at Jeff, I started making, I want to say, $21. Started off at 17 something, then started making 21. So, and I'm killing them. So I'm like, damn, if I could make this, if I do overtime, overtime hit the 30s. So I'm like, damn, if I could do this, all right. So I start killing overtime. So the more overtime I get, the less I'm out the streets. So then it's like I start getting tired, man. I'm just like, man, I'm tired of getting up early in the morning, or I'm tired of having to be somewhere when somebody tell me to be there. So I'm like, man, how can I get in the game? What can I do? How can I go legal? So it was a boy named Joe Green. He was working for Center City Towing, and he was actually the cousin of a close homie of mine's, Camaro Rob. Rest in peace his soul. He introduced us. I got, a little relationship with the boy Joe Green. He say, look, man, you can get a tow truck, or you could get a truck and jump into the transport business. I put you deep. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Still doing what I'm doing. Still, still in and out, but I'm more so on the job side of things because the money good. And it's that's what I love. Cut that short, I wound up doing some crazy overtime, and it was this big thing at my job where they was messing up on a check, so they wound up owing people checks. So one of my checks, and then with the check that they owed me, I think it was probably I want to say $4,500 or something, and I had a check for I want to say $3,000 or something like that. As well as, I was able to stick and move a few moves to get a couple extra dollars. Some folks that I knew out Chester, they was selling a whole tow truck company. They was selling the whole company called Towland Towing. So I wound up purchasing that. Now remind you, I knew nothing about towing. I knew nothing. I couldn't tell you nothing about it. So I wound up, I'm depending on everything that Joe telling me. I'm depending on everything he telling me. So, bang, I wound up looking at the truck, not, looking at it, I'm like, oh, why it all hype, not really paying attention to it. So I buy the company, sell it, you sell it to me, or whatever the case may have you. And when I get the truck, I find out that the truck is a stick shift. I don't know how to drive a stick shift. I know how to drive Banshees, dirt bikes, motorcycles, all that. But I don't know how to drive a stick shift at this time. So my pop come get the truck for me. I'm like, man, I ain't spend all this bread to not like do nothing. Get in the truck, I'm, messing with it. So my dad like, listen, it's just like riding a motorcycle or a Banshee or something. It's just all the gears. It's labeled. So he shows how it's 1, 2, 3. Bang, easy. Get it down packed. Now I slide to the boy Joe. I'm in the game for a little bit, but at this particular time, I wasn't like wreck chasing. I wasn't doing nothing. I was just pretty much doing all the accident tools because I bought a flatbed. So it's like their wreck chases get accidents, and then I'll pick up all, like the accident tools, all the crash cars, and I'm dropping them off. So in 1 week, we go pick the bread up from where I'm taking the cars. I'm like, man, it's that paper. By this time, Joe ain't around now. Like Joe said, he introduced me to the Center City people. I give him that, but the dream that he sold me, it wasn't that dream. So now it's like, once that happened, I'm just like, man, I'm done. I'm about to go back to this gig, man. So I start back picking up the overtime and all that. I let them dudes hold the truck, rent the truck on me. Some things happen with that. Long story short, the truck wound up like not being that. So I'm sitting on the truck for forever. Some stuff happened with the paperwork with the people, try to get me out of more money. I wound up losing the truck. They towed the truck. I never went back to get it. That's how I started off in the tow truck business, for the people that really wanted to know. I know you was asking me that or whatever. So that's how I got to the whole tow truck thing or whatever. So once I lost the truck, I'm angry, but I got a taste of what the money is like. So I'm back shaking and moving from the 9 to 5 to back out here. And then it's like, no BS, like one day, I don't know what it is, I just woke up, bro. I'm like, I'm not going to work or to sleep. I'm talking to my folks, they like, yo, you been there all that time, you ain't got no PTO and no, at this time, I don't know what that is, bro. Like, I'm a nigga from the streets that just got a good job, everybody is making it seem like working at this hospital is like the best thing that can happen to anybody. So as far as like the PTO and all that, I really don't know nothing about it. So they put me D. So I go to the gig, research on it, trying to find out I got all this PTO, bro. So I just start taking the PTO, get to the end of the PTO, I just never go back. And then when as a man, when you're back against the wall, you just trying to like, figure everything out. So I had a nice little like last check, and then from like the little moves, I had some more paper. So around this time, my homie CR, he doing the hair thing, the be your hair, and he eating like he truing. So I'm like, damn, I wonder if I could do the same thing but do it somewhere else. You know what I mean? I'm like, I wonder if I could do the same thing or do it somewhere else. So I was rapping with him, and it's crazy, like I'm cracking the fuck up, right? Because he'll give me so much game about this hair business, right, bro? But one thing, he would never give me the connect. He'd never give me the connect. I was like, yeah. I was like, damn, bro. So at this time, so he put me on. So he just kept saying like, yo, you just gotta find like different vendors. He like, you just gotta find, like vendors or whatever. So I'm doing like little stuff or whatever, trying to like figure it out or whatever. But it just wasn't working. Like I wound up like finding like this one drink that I like had Google. It had got like a couple drinks and like sold them to people, but like all the feedback was like nutty. Like it was like nutty. So this one I run into somebody that I used to deal with, folks, like we always stayed like cool or whatever. She got hair chic extensions now or whatever. And before she had that and before I had what I had, we wound up like partnering up. So, you know, we making the moves or whatever. She dealing with the vendors and all that, we getting here, pushing it, the money flowing. You know. After that, you know, whatever happened. You know, she go her way, I go mine. She start up hair stick extensions, and that's how I come up with Superstar extensions. So, meanwhile, with all this, I still have the tow truck LLC and all that. I still have all that, but I don't have a tow truck, and I'm still not like all we hit to the game. I still put that to the back burner. So now I'm doing the hair thing. The hair thing is, you know, bringing money. You know, I'm able to, you know, still live, but I'm, you know, still day to day with it. So after the hair thing is when I decided to jump back into the tow truck thing. Saved up, you know, a nice little grip of money off the hair and wound up buying a tow truck, a record tow truck.
Just copped up, just know I'm on the way, man. Back to better. I already know niggas ain't leasing shit, man. We pull them bands out, you hear me? Niggas ain't leasing nothing, man. Straight cash. Let these niggas, bro. Let these niggas know, man.
Baby.
Cash right out, man.
Cash out.
I mean, niggas ain't listen. This is what I do, man. The boy Bucky Raw, y'all know, man.
I get this. A homie of mine's cousin is back to New Lean, which is a homie of mine's now. He like, yeah, my cousin and all his homies, they got this tow truck company. They be looking for people. They need to do like you on a team, cause like niggas don't be pushing right, blah blah blah. So he introduces, and me say whatever he say. It was on from there. I wound up getting my first truck, and I ain't never looked back. Like it was like obstacles and stuff in a way like that, but like little stuff happened. I mean, from trucks breaking down to people stealing shit off your truck. You don't really know too much about it. Then somebody like, yo, where that piece at? And then, I mean, you realize somebody stole it. And then that's how I got into the tow truck business. And then I think you was asking me about the bar too, right? How I
was going to get to the first Bucky's, man, because you're in the new Bucky's now.
Right,
Bucky's too. But the first Bucky's, how you end up getting to that situation?
All right, so now I always was like a dancing ass boy. Like everybody, like even like in middle school, like it was so crazy. Like I used to be like a dancing boy where they used to call us the dancing Muslims. It was like me and like 3 of my homies or whatever. So this was back in South Philly. I'm not too sure if you're familiar, but right between 20th and 21st and Reed, it was a club there called the Cobblestone.
I heard it.
Yeah. So we used to throw like little parties there and stuff like that. And then as I got older, a few people that I know from North, I started being in North. That's how I met like my man Ciara and all. But he's originally from South Philly, 7th Street. But he used to be down North too on 7th Street, so it's like weird. But that's how I met him, and they was doing like little parties and stuff like that. So I start like hosting and stuff like with them or whatever. Get on the flyer, start doing that. start having like my little own joint still at like the Cobblestone. I was having like skating parties right there. Or it's a skating rink right there called Carmen's on Germantown Avenue. Yeah, so I had like 2, and that's what really made me get into it. This was before like DJ RL and all that was like on the radio or none of that. Like I had a skating party there. He was the first DJ that I actually hired myself. Like really like reached out to, had him come. That joint was wham, and it was like crazy. And the crazy thing about it is a little situation erupted, so I had to get cut short, but the money still was good. So throughout the years, promoting, doing things like that, so I just kept telling myself, like, man, I want to do something different, man. Like, I need to have my own joint. So like for a couple years, I used to be looking, couldn't find nothing, couldn't find nothing. And then it's like, to be honest, in this game, people don't like to put you on. So I'm not really gonna get into like the names and all that, but it's like certain people I reached out to try to find out like who to reach out to. So I'm reaching out to people that I know is in the game and got their own, and asking them to basically put me on but you get the runaround, or my folks this or that. So it's just like I was over it. So it's a old head that owned a bar at Southwest, or whatever the case may have you. He like real cool with my pop, but he like bang with me heavy because of like other stuff that I did for him, or whatever the case may have you. So I go to him one day, I'm talking to him, rapping with him, and I ask him. So he telling me different spots. And then I'm like, if you hear anything, keep your ears open and let me know. One day he called me, like, yo, you know who you can go talk to? He like, you can go talk to such and such and see what they trying to do, because I know they was trying to put somebody in that spot for some extra money. It's like bad timing for him. I go up there, guy there, I tell him who told me to pull up. He say he know him. The guy say, look, he said, I got somebody else coming to look at it. He like, if you don't come, I'll call you back. So I'll give you a call on Monday. Whole weekend passed, I'm like, damn, whoever was went to go look at it must got it. Monday he called me early in the morning, like 7 o'clock in the morning. He like, he like, are you able to meet today to talk? I'm like, yeah. So we meet up, talk. He give me a number. I'm like, what you want? He like, all right, I'm gonna have, my wife or whoever type the contract up, and then we can go get it notarized and go to the bank or whatever. So he did that next morning. He called me. I make the deal. And he wanted a pretty little penny, but throughout this I still got like my side hustles, like I'm selling cars. I still got, still wreck chasing, doing all that. So that's how I'm like basically accumulating the money, like to save up or like to survive during the time being. Because remind you, I told you I quit Jefferson. So I get that, and then when I get this, it was like so crazy because like the people that I knew was like heavy, what like getting like businesses popping and all that, they were like already like a little circle. They was already like a little circle, so they was already like getting popping, like they had their own. So I couldn't like really expect them to help me. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go for it. Go for what I know. So I was already good at like promoting. My dad been in the bar business, so my dad, he put me on a few things, and then I just start going like to different places, like seeing like the prices and stuff that they charge, and I'm like, damn, well if they charging this, I want to charge this. If they charging this or they got this, I want to have it. the opposite of that and have this. I mean, so people could get something different. I start doing that, man, start promoting. And that's when like the little popping, like little chicks and stuff from out the neighborhood start coming. They passing word. Then certain promoters start reaching out. Word starts spreading. And it was, you know, it was whamming. Like it was just like crazy. Like money flow was crazy. Like, but it was more so about the love. Like for me to see the love, it was like crazy. So that's how I was on it, you know, the first Bucky's.
So what transpired at that point to make you want to do this one right now?
So going back to that, and Bucky's. So basically, there I was going through somebody. So everything that I was operating under was somebody else's credentials.
So you basically was renting it from somebody
Right.
else.
Right. So they had full control over the kitchen. So it's like this. So you got the big boss that I originally met, the person that I'm dealing with, but he's older. So he's back and forth out the hospital, all different types of stuff. So then you have somebody under him that he has running it, but he's like telling me one thing and telling her something else. So it's like she's carrying it a certain way. So it was like once it started getting like that, it was tension from back and forth with her and my dad, because he was my manager. Her. So it was like a lot of stuff transpiring. But I'm still pushing because like I'm motivated to win, because there's already a lot of people hating. A lot of people got so much to say, because I was like literally like doing this by myself. Like the only like promotion that was there was from my staff. Like I had like no promoters. I had none of that. Like the only promotion was from my staff, and they held me down. Like everybody, they definitely held me down. So it started coming to the point where like I'm big on the quality. So I always say to myself, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Quantity is the quality. So that's what I was on. So I'm putting together like food menus and all this stuff, but it still has to incorporate what they have. So it's like if I wanted to do dollar tacos, I couldn't have tacos because they didn't serve tacos in the kitchen. You feel me? So it's like whatever they serve, I had to make me a menu to, you know, side by side their menu. So that was fine and dandy. I do that, you know, I get the menus made, happy hour drinks, all that. So, you know, at first it's like cool, they honoring everything, whatever the case may have you. But now it's like that I'm running down the kitchen, orders like this, it's an issue now. So the person that's running it back to the, you know, the big guy. So the big guy, he don't want to stop me because it's bringing money, but at the same time, it's like he still don't want to, I guess, like override certain things. So, you know, he basically just say, you know, you can have certain things but can't have this, that, and third. Fine and dandy. So, you know, I revise it, and now I'm on a tight time that he still want me to be on. So now it's like, bro, if I'm open, let's just hypothetically say my happy hour start at 4 o'clock. Now they not showing up to 5:30, 6. Some days the kitchen ain't opening. So it was like a bad thing with the kitchen, but I still was pushing because outside of that, it still was good. Like it still was good. I still was able to, you know, save money. It was good all the way around the board. Like that's just like if a person has a 9 to 5, but you know they get paid real good, and they have an issue with their boss, they still gonna deal with the job because of the simple fact they're able to survive and they're still able to do certain things they want to do. So that was the case here. Even though I didn't have no boss, it felt like I was a boss. Because on that black and white, that was me. That bulk of the money that was put down, that was me. So that was an issue. So it was like, so then it, you know, it start picking up even more. Like the names just, like Bucky just was out there. Like people, like my Fridays, bro, like was like it was like a Greek picnic, like back in the day, like every Friday. Like it was like crazy. So like the name was definitely spreading, and you know the specials that I was giving, like nobody else was doing it. So now it goes from one price that have to be paid to this price. So now, you know, I'm like rat with my pop. He like, no, just still do it. He like, you know, just don't take your money from the kitchen. So with the kitchen, I got like a big percentage off the kitchen. So like off of all the kitchen sales, I got like a big percentage. So instead of me taking my percentage, I just would deduct that out of what was supposed to have been paid to him. He goes in the hospital, and then it's just like all like hell breaks loose. Like they stopped opening the kitchen. They it was to the point where the main circuit breaker, I couldn't get to it. And then when I was able to get to it, they had a lock on it. They shut the lights off, bro. Like it was crazy. Like it just got to the point where it's like they already had like their mind set up on something. So this was around the time like certain days were starting to slow down anyway. So I was just like, you know, telling, you know, the bartenders like, look, man, like I'm just ready to be done with this joint because it was too much. And my pop just kept telling me like, you know your worth. Like you ain't got to put up with this. He kept saying, if you got the money, just chill and wait till you can find something else. So I ain't really listened to him. So once I was able, I talked to the OA. He got them to cut the electric back on, whatever the case may have you. The water got cut off. Now I didn't understand, like, you know, I'm giving y'all my bread, how, and this is what y'all supposed to be taking care of. How is this happening? They don't want to pay the bill or whatever the case may have you. So I did what I needed to do for the customers to be able to use the bathroom. But I only opened up at a certain time. And then it's like at that point, man, I was like fed up. I mean, because I had already, it was already weighing on my heart that like I had to like get rid of certain people, like, because I start like laying off employees, and I had kept like 2 or whatever. So I'm just like, you know what, man, I'm done with this joint. So I wound up stopping it, and then wound up getting all my stuff, doing whatever, and wound up leaving. So during this time, when I leave, you know, you get people that talk like people be in people business so bad that it be like crazy. You got, oh, he lost the building, oh, L&I shut him down, or oh, I heard he wasn't paying that money. No, listen, anybody who knows me knows I always been on paper. Excuse me. I always been on paper. That was never an issue. Like, anybody who knows me knows I always been on paper. I always been a go-getter. and knew how to get it. So like that type of stuff, bro, I'm not gonna hold you. Like it was eating me up. Like I was ready to like to really like go back to like old ways, because it was like bothering me that bad that like certain people that I wouldn't expect to be out there throwing salt on the game or slandering my name was doing it. But I'm like, man, talk to my pop, because I always be talking to him, and he like, look, man, you can't dwell on that, you gonna get that. He like, some people been hating since day one, you know, some people happy that you ain't there on. He like, come back even harder. So, you know, after a while, it, you know, it died down. I go and look at one spot. I'm supposed to get this one spot downtown on South Street. So I'm working a deal out with them. So once I do that, I start pushing Bucky's 2 coming soon. I start pushing that. The building next to that building wound up catching on fire. So now they can't do nothing with this building, because now it got water damage from the firefighters and all types of stuff like that. So that deal wound up falling through. So now some months to go by. So I'm on my head, I'm like, I know people like, this nigga keep saying, you know what I mean, coming soon. And they like, what are you over there like? So I'm on it, but believe it or not, it's like real hard, bro. It's like real hard to like find like a bar. So I wind up running into some folks at another spot, and his dad is like one of the people who like big in the city. Like a lot of people, like he leased to like a lot of people that got bars. So I run into him, and we're not running to him. I wound up getting his contact info. We chat, we rap. He tell me, you know, he'd get back to me. He had something for me. You know, he get back to me. He give me a number. I think that the number was like 30,000 or something like that, or whatever. And he was basically telling me it was turnkey. I'm not sure if you know what turnkey means. Turnkey is basically you can open the doors and be ready for, you know, business. But he was just saying that, you know, it looked old or whatever. I have to, like, basically, you know, up to date it. But that would be on my own expenses or whatever. So he was like, he was waiting on the had a meeting with the liquor control board. I mean, once he do all that, I could come down and I could, you know, cut him a check or whatever. So a couple weeks passed by, he still ain't called. So me, I'm a heavy gambler. Like I gamble like a whole lot, bro. So I wound up going to the casino. I wound up blowing that bag. The money that I was supposed to give him, I wound up blowing it. Like, like blowing it. So that put me in like a tight situation. So when he finally did call back, I told him, I'm like, I just ran into a little situation, because around this time I also was on a property as well. So I basically told him, like, look, you know, this A, this B, this Z or whatever, you're gonna have to give me some time. And in the course of that, I'm like, man, I know I could find something cheaper than that. Looking. I see this spot. I call, you know, they tell me, oh, there's no liquor license. So I'm like, bet, I'm cool. Calling spots. I can't find nothing. So months go by. I wind up, I'm in New Orleans one day, and I'm like, man, let me call these people back. So this is when I was going to get the joint and just do a BYOB. So I called him, I set the meeting up. Now when I set the meeting up, he like, listen, he like, are you that, were you still interested in the liquor license? I'm like, yes. He like, look, this the number on it, man. At the end of the day, you want something, you gonna do, I mean, you gonna work to get it. And it went from there. And, you know, I got the liquor license. We worked the deal out on, the building. And that's how I came up with it. I mean, there was a lot of trials and tribulations with this. It still is, you know. Being as though I'm the only black business owner in this section. Like this one whole section right here, this Brownsburg, Port Richmond, like this particular like square, I'm the only black owner and the youngest. So it's like they giving like the little riffraff and all that, but I'm 100 on, you know, all my paperwork and all that. So it's just like, it is what it is. So now I'm looking to open July 26th, and then we're gonna go all the way up, man.
Alright. So yeah, you was in here, you know, I seen a little bit of the spots, a big ass spot, still got some work y'all gonna do to it by the time y'all open it up and all of that. So I mean, definitely stay tuned for the grand opening of that. You said July 26th, right?
Yeah, July 26th, yep,
Okay.
9 to 2.
Okay. So, Benz though, I pretty much let you rock because you was running your story down, know what I mean? And it was flowing, so I didn't want to stop you. I let you pretty much get it off. But one thing I do want to ask you though is, Benz though, you've been through all the stuff you've been through as far as being locked up in the streets, know what I mean, getting shot, all this different stuff. And then you transition from that to getting a job. And then, you know, you still was dipping and dabbling, but eventually you became a business owner.
Right.
And then you transitioned out of the streets 100%.
Right.
And became a full-time entrepreneur.
Right.
So what message could you give to the dudes in the streets or the young boys that's watching this, that's coming up? Like, what message can you share with them based on the experience that you had?
I'm gonna keep it real, man. The streets ain't that. Like, I'm gonna be all the way honest. Maybe back in the day it was cool, but what you gotta understand is back in the day, it was easier to get money. People wasn't telling on each other. People wasn't killing people for no reason. People had respect. If it was kids, if it was women, if it was senior citizens, it wasn't no shootings. And even though not saying, you know, shooting is cool, but back in the day, it was a purpose behind it. I mean, did all that. I mean, you can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You don't want to be the person that when you die, you have your mom or your pop or your grandmom saying, oh, he was a good kid. Why would anybody do that to him? But the reason why you got rocked is because even though you was on the legal side, you still was in the streets doing little nut shit. No, it's not 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You either gonna be 2 feet legal or 2 feet illegal. And the thing about it is, being illegal, that's not the way to go, man. That's not the way to go, because at the end of the day, the game is not respected how it used to be respected. Nobody has respect for nobody no more. And even still, when you out the way, you still in the way. Because at the end of the day, even though I'm 100% legal, I have a business, I'm accumulating some type of money. So you have people that prey on that. So not to say when you become all the way legal, you're not gonna have problems, but at the end of the day, I can guarantee you have a better chance of staying out them jails and still being here for your mom, your parents, your grandparents, and your family if you come this route, man. I feel 110% better being legal than I was when I was doing dumb stuff. But you gotta understand, I was a young knucklehead then, like young. So my thing is, man, stay out them streets, man. Do what you gotta do to take care of your family. At the end of the day, like you heard me say, like I transitioned to a job to get to where I'm at now. I mean, the working man ain't never been a sucker. It don't matter what you doing. You could be selling t-shirts out the back of your car. At the end of the day, you doing something the right way. I mean,
on that note, man, go ahead and plug your social medias and all that so people can follow you, follow your business page and all that, stay updated with everything you got going on.
Listen, you can follow me on the gram, Buck the World, BUCK _ the world, THEWORLD. You can follow the business page at Bucky's BUCKYS _ cafe, CAFE. You got a Facebook Bucky's Cafe, Google Bucky's Cafe. Before I get off hand, I never even brought up the fact that, you know, I got a hair salon too.
Oh yeah, you definitely did.
Yeah. Yeah, so before I get into that, you can look that up on the gram. The Hair Polish 1947. That's in South Philly, 20th and Wharton, 1947 South Wharton Street. I got that too, ladies. So you would come there, whatever you need. Hairstylist, makeup artist, nail tech, got the bundles, whatever. I be having so much going on, man. That literally slipped my mind. Like it's like crazy, cause I mean that's crazy. But yeah, so I definitely got that too. I mean, so I'm still in the hair business, but now I just got a whole salon. Everything that I do, I try to do it to where I could create opportunities for other people to eat. Like it ain't just about me. What you gotta understand is, you didn't hear me say, oh, I started a t-shirt company to where I'm the only one selling t-shirts, or I got socks to where I'm the only one selling socks. You gotta understand, every business that I have is a business that needs to be ran by a team. I bring businesses to the city that create opportunities for everybody else. Bars. So many different positions that you can do. Tow truck company. Different trucks so different people can work in them. Hair salon. 6 chairs is in there, which means that 6 different people that got an opportunity to do something to better themselves or to secure the bag for them and their family. I mean, and that's what I want people to understand about me. At the end of the day, what y'all may think is not that. You have to look at the big picture. Like, I'm doing it to accumulate the bag, but I'm also doing it to provide the jobs, man. To provide the jobs. A lot of y'all need to get out of that mind frame to where y'all just doing it just to do it. Start creating jobs, man. Start creating jobs. A lot of people that got businesses, man, start creating jobs. Surround yourself with people that do that. Like all my associates, all my homies, like my homies got businesses, man. And these is not, you talking about people that I have met with, like in the years. That's the difference. I could go, listen, we out of here, man. I could go on and on and on, man, because that was just about to take me to like a whole nother, different story, man. That's one more thing to the youngins. A lot of y'all say, oh, my day ones, I'm riding for the gang and all that. Listen, when you in them jails, them same people that you riding for, them same people that you out here doing whatever you doing for, 90% of them is going to forget you in them jails, man. 90% of them. When you die, 90% of them are going to forget about your kids, forget about your mom. So you got to remember that, man. And I'm only saying that for personal experience, and I am one of fault. I have homies who died, but it's like, it's crazy because as much as I love their kids, sometimes it can slip your brain. I'm doing so much. I mean, like when you doing so much and you this place and you that place, it don't be intentional, but it happened. So do you want your close homie, the person that you love, whatever, to be so caught up in taking care of his family and taking care of his businesses or whatever he got going on and work and all that, and forget your kids, forget your mom, forget your grandparents and all that? You think about that, man. When you screaming gang and all that, think about it when you ain't here, man. Because even when you in jail, you dead to people. So it's only two ways out: dead or dead. Because when you dead 6 feet under, you vanish. When you're in them jails, you dead. You know why? Because everybody forget about you. Leave it at that, man.
Alright. So another question I want to ask you, being though you got multiple different businesses and you had this experience for the past several years now, how would you, describe or explain to the youth or anybody in particular who want to go about starting a business, might be trying to transition out the streets or might be trying to transition out of job and be on their own? So how would you best describe, or what advice could you give them?
So first and foremost, man, when you trying to become an entrepreneur, whatever you trying to, whether you trying to transpire from a job to owning your own business, or you trying to go from street to owning your own business, you have to, first the number one thing is you have to take that leap in faith, man. So I'm sorry. The first thing is you gotta trust in God, Allah. I mean, second, you gotta take the leap of faith. Third, you gotta be determined. Those are three things. And to top all it off, the sauce to top all it off, focus. I mean, when you're determined, you should be focused anyway. Once you do that, what people always think is they always need a lot of money to start up a business. No, everybody started somewhere. So my thing is, if you don't have that large sum of money to start like a business, like a bar or tow truck company or something like that, what you do is, once again, you can invest in earrings, customized earrings. You can go and get $50 worth of cheap bras and customize it to where the ladies will like it and sell that for a profit. I mean, but to own your own business, for one, you have to get, I've been to this so many times. So you have to get your city license. I tell everybody to make sure, they get their LLC. That's about it. It's more steps to it, but we'd be all day with me explaining it. But the one, you definitely need to get your commercial activity license, brand your name, LLC. Before you do all that, you gotta get an EIN number. You do that, that's how you can start off. Whatever it is, you can decide to start off a business selling waters. At the end of the day, it doesn't become a business until you get that EIN, you get that commercial activity license, and make it an LLC. I mean, go for it. Like I said, trust in the higher power, the leap of faith, Determination, man. Determination.
And another thing you spoke on too, I want you to elaborate a little bit on, or I want to ask you something else on, is when you said a lot of your close friends and associates also are entrepreneurs. They own businesses and stuff like that. They employ people as well. You said some of them, you met throughout the years, so you ain't necessarily grew up with all of them, so to speak. So I want you to speak on, like some of the businesses they own. I'ma assume like a couple of them might own bars as well. So is it like we all share game? Is it competitive? Like how do it work when some of your homies got the same businesses as you? Like how do that work?
I will say this, man. When you focused on yourself and you in your own lane, even if a person is doing better than you, it's no competition. And you know why it's not no competition? It's because you're in your own lane. You focusing on what you got going on. You're not focusing on what your homie got going on, what the next person got going on. Everybody is different. For the most part, my close folks that own bars, I say I support. Even with me being in the field, I try to, promote if they having like little certain events and things like that. Do I get it in return? By a few, other people, they just worry about their stuff. But that's neither here or there. But far as like actual like competition, like I gotta do better than him I don't think none of my homies, none of my close associates that own bars does that. That we don't carry it like that. Like if we all out together, we carrying it the same way. If somebody know having something at my spot, they there. If somebody I know having something at their spot, I'm there. So for the most part, it's not nothing with them. It's when you dealing with the out branches, when you dealing with the outside people that's in like the same lane that we're in, then that's when you dealing with people who want to outdo you, people who want to be known as the top bar in Philadelphia. But it's enough money out here for everybody. Now those are the ones that you gotta watch it for, because those are the ones that'll do the sneak calls and call L&I on you when they know you having a big party or something like that to get you shut down. Those are the ones that you can start something on the 1st of the month, and by the 28th of the month, they'll be doing the same thing. They don't try to change the name. They don't try to do none of that. They'll be doing the same identical exact thing. But that's part of the game, man. It's enough money out here for everybody, so at the end of the day, you gotta take it for what it's worth. My thing is, it's just like, if you win this game, it shouldn't be no competition. That's the thing about it. Like, if people didn't compete, we would be so better off. Like, if everybody just linked up as one and we were like just all like one chain gang for like the bars or the clubs or whatever, we'd be unstoppable. You know why? Because for the most part, we're all in different areas, so we can attract different people. But as well as, it's just like, all right, I'm doing this on Monday, you doing this on Tuesday. We help to push each other. But we'll never get that, man. There's no unity, man. Everybody is in their own little field, worried about themselves. You got some who genuinely, show love. You got some who genuinely want you to win. The same way you should genuinely want them to win. But then you got others that's just for self. They don't care. You don't matter. They'll be trying to get you shut down. Whole time smiling in your face, but you turn around and you like, huh? Call what? Who said what? Yeah. And it's like crazy because I had that situation happen, and it's a good thing that, you know, I got an aunt that worked down there, and she actually was able to say where the complaint came from. That was like a crazy joint. I mean, but yeah, that's it with that. It's really not too much I could go on with that, man. I just look at it like I'm in my own lane, I mind my business, and I focus on what I got going on. Only how I'm focusing on what my homie got going on, or what a nigga I'm cool with got going on, as if I'm trying to support it. If I'm coming out to support it, or I'm helping them promote it. Other than that, focus on yourself, man. Seriously.
Alright, so another question on, you know, in regards to, you know, your homies, your current circle being more like yourself, far as being entrepreneurs on the businesses and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
When you transition from the streets, you know, you had homies that was in the streets and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm assuming that a lot of them ain't the same people that you're around now, far as the people with businesses and stuff like that.
No.
So like, what's that dynamic like for, you know, for other people that's going to go through that transition in life? Like, what's that like for you with your homies from the streets, in regards to your homies now, as far as your business associates?
So, it's like this, man. It's self-explanatory. If you gonna go off of the theory that I said, you gonna be 2 feet in, because you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So you're gonna be 2 feet in on the street side, or you're gonna be 2 feet in on the legal side. And so for me, it's kind of hard for you at first, because when you dealing with people that you grew up with, or people that you watched grow up, or people that you done been through the storm with, it's like every so often you should progress. So where you are at now, you shouldn't have been there 5 years ago. You should be a way better person than you were 5 years ago now, because you had time to learn, you have time to progress, you have time to make better decisions, because each day that you wake up is another opportunity to do something positive with yourself. That's another chance at life. So for me, it was like, at first, it was hard, for the simple fact of the role that I played. It was kind of hard, but as the years went on and I progressed, as the years went on and I got older, I had to understand that if those are really my homies and they really love me the way that they love me, they're going to respect me for who I am and respect me for what I'm doing. If they don't, then they never really was my homies. I mean, because if I grew up with them, I consider them brothers. So the same thing I want for me, I want for my brothers. But everybody is not meant to be a boss. Just like everybody is not meant to be a street person. Just like everybody is not meant to be an order taker at McDonald's. So it's like, you gotta make the decision. You gotta say, do I wanna still surround myself around this certain type of activity that can possibly get in the way of this? Or do I want to survive? Do I want to partake in this type of atmosphere that can possibly bring this. Because you ever hear the saying, and I'm asking you this, you ever hear the saying, let's just say if it's a female, if you're around 9 whores, 9 times out of 10, the people are going to think you're the 10th one, correct? And that's the whole thing about when I say you can't mix yourself between the two. Like, I love the people that I grew up with dearly. Like, that's just that. Like, don't nothing change that. But it's just like, some of them has transitioned and doing better. And then some of them, the streets is just in them. They just the streets. That's them. So it's just like, what do you do? So it's not that you stop messing with them, but it's just like, listen, bro, they gotta respect it. Like, this is what I'm on right now. I mean, I got a family, I got this going on for myself, I got that going on for myself. I can't be involved in stuff like that. I can't do this, I can't do that. At the end of the day, any real nigga should respect you. A person call themselves 100, a person call themselves real, they should respect you for that. So if you thinking about transitioning over, but you wondering, oh, what they gonna think or what this person gonna think, at the end of the day, if they love you, if they got any type of love for you, or they genuine about you, they gonna respect you for what and what you do. I mean, that's what I could, say about that part. I mean, you gonna get side eyes, you gonna get stuff said, rumors gonna start, but at the end of the day, time reveals everything. So as time goes on, the eye of the people will change. They will start to see what the problem is, where the problem is, what was a lie, what wasn't a lie. So you gotta do what's best for you, especially if you got like a family. Don't be out here being a knucklehead, man, and you go to jail or you get killed, and Jody out here taking care of your son or your daughter, or your baby mom out here being a single parent, struggling. She gotta go sell that pussy because she gotta take care of the baby herself. Mom and dad can't help her. Y'all gotta think about that, man. Don't worry about what the next person say, because guess what? If they really your homies, if they really your brothers, if they really people that care about you, if they really people that look at you a certain way, and they people that you grew up with, they gonna respect it, man. They still gonna love you the same. They gonna respect the fact that you kept it real with them, more so just flaking off on them. And no, they're gonna respect. They should respect the fact that you were real with them. That's it, man. Be yourself.
On that note, we're signing out, man. Philly Fame TV, Buck, aka Bucky, aka Buck the World.
They already know. Shout out to Philly Fame TV. Thanks for having me. Listen, this is gonna be a part 2 too, cause
I got some more questions I could.
Listen, because I'm sitting here thinking there's a few questions that you asked that we didn't get into, but we gonna cut this one short because after the grand opening, we gonna do this again, man.
For sure.
So we can get into, how the community accepted it and all that, man.
Right. That's what it is then, bro. Till next time. Signing out.
Absolutely. We gone.